World Health Organization declared that the coronavirus crisis is now a pandemic.
Hospitalizations set new record as
Global shutdowns have commenced with border closures looming and international flights
Empty streets
cancelled.
have become the new norm in New York City.
Europe tightens its lockdowns.
NBA is suspending the season.
This is unprecedented.
For the first time since World War II.
The Olympics have been canceled.
For the first week after we lost, I kept asking myself what I could have done differently, and I just came up blank. I had trained, sweated, bled. I worked through every injury, including my grade 3 hamstring injury, to build up my strength and endurance. But in the end, it was out of my hands. And because I was exposed to COVID, per team rules and per league rules of FXC, I was not able to join the team. I couldn't go with the team to Mexico, and it was quite frustrating.
All athletes and personnel must be sanitized before accessing the facilities.
We were prepared. We wore masks, we tested, we took every imaginable measure to keep our players safe during training and matches. But I can't follow them home. I mean, Arnie and I did everything we could, and it just takes one weak link in a player's protocols, and that's it. They've got COVID. Or they got exposed to COVID and they're on quarantine, they can't train, they can't fly, and we lose them.
It's the last ball possession of the match, Sylvia. Mexico is crushing Team USA a whopping 123-80.
Yeah, it looks like Team USA got ambushed with some heavy pressure from Mexico in the third game.
Team USA is looking like a whipped dog in this triple-digit heat. I'm not sure they have any fight left in them.
And Mexico will play their final ball possession with 4 women and 3 men on the court. I think they want to finish in style.
And here we go again, Sylvia. Daniela to Cassandra in first line. Back and forth again between the two. A long pass to Carlos Morales in second line on the other side of the court. To Martinez. Morales. Another change of direction to Cassandra to Dirsu, who loses the ball.
Unbelievable. Another 9 passes and 9 points for Mexico, and that's the match. Mexico has sealed their second championship win, 132-80.
Look at this Mexican bench. They are absolutely on fire, and you can tell this energy is just radiating off of them onto the court. Now, Sylvia, like we were mentioning, Fireball Extreme Challenge has definitely proven that not only can women and men compete against one another, but that when they do compete together, you can just tell they are a force to be reckoned with out on the court.
These women and men on Team Mexico have definitely proven their mettle and shown us the true meaning of the word teamwork. And sadly, Team USA will return home empty-handed for the second time with a lot of source searching to do. What a heartbreaking loss.
It's so hard to accept what happened in May, but I can't dwell on the loss because if I do, it'll just cripple me mentally. I don't blame COVID or masks or the heat or anything. I blame us for being complacent. I mean, we got our asses handed to us by Mexico in Mexico. And that's just flat out the truth.
And it's Rodriguez to Morales. Back to Rodriguez, who finds Leon in the center of the court. New change of direction to Karen Montoya, ready on the other side of the court. Valero, and again, Leon to Dirsu. The ball movement is looking spectacular. The Mexicans are using the entire court and keep changing the direction of the play. And Karen Montoya cannot hold the ball. What a shame. Mexico is taking off and not looking back.
Kind of embarrassing. We're the U.S. team for Fireball Extreme Challenge. We have massive resources, a long history of athletic excellence in this country. We were supposed to be the team to beat, and we just weren't. It goes further than losing any player to COVID because Fireball is such a pure team sport. It's just that you can't, as a team, you can't replace hard work.
Well, we got back from Mexico, and I let the team lick their wounds for a minute, but just a minute. Our next major international tournament will be in the fall in Italy with tryouts and plans to implement some radical changes to our training program.
One of those changes is we've partnered up with Neural Movement. Good things are going to be happening from that collaboration, but we're up against the clock. We've got to get moving.
Well, we're always evolving the team and the sport. It's the nature of being in a new discipline like FXC. I mean, whether it's deciding who stays and who goes or finding fresh blood in tryouts. I mean, we lost twice now, and our goal is to ensure that that doesn't happen again. And the next U.S. Fireball team has that juice, and that whoever we select elevates that chemistry within the team. Because I know we can do it. Next year, things are going to be different.
42-40. It's just 2 points to USA advantage over Mexico at the end of this first game. And here we go again. Pelon to Cassandra to Dirsu. Back and forth between them. Dirsu gets rid of 2 players to Cassandra again, but her pass is intercepted by Evan List.
It's an American switch. Dado to Williams, to Dado again. Long pass to Tomashe in first line. Long pass intercepted by Leon, but it's still Tomashe who puts it to the center. Wow.
What a ball possession, Sylvia. Leave the situation unchanged with Team USA, still up by 2 points.
FXC, or Fireball Extreme Challenge, has a ball, a court of 82 by 49 feet, and 4 basic rules. 1 pass equals 1 point. You have 2 seconds to pass. There's no walking or resting on the court ever, and mandatory co-ed play. Simple, right? Not so simple. Everybody's looking and running in every direction, looking for somebody to pass it to. If you don't have the ball, you're looking to tap it away or to block somebody, and it's unbelievably complicated.
Go, push. Come on, Sandy, push. Go. Good. Come on, go, push. Push it. Drive. Go, good. Come on, go, 1, 2, 3, 4, let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, push.
You've got to be able to work as a team. You've got to have super hand-eye coordination. You've got to be able to anticipate where your players are going to be before they get there. You've got to be able to separate from your opponent.
This isn't about who's fast. Your feet need to be quick. Your mind needs to be quick, not fast. This is about precision. This is about agility. This is about smarts. Well, for most of the 20th century, we've built up this image of what the perfect athlete should be, this perfectly built, almost engineered version of a man. Well, that's changing now, because now it's not about being a man. We're in the 21st century, and that guy doesn't win FXC championships. Women are a big part of the game. Sometimes I've got more women on the court than men, and I'm happy about it. Because sometimes these smaller, more agile women, they pass the ball even more, and they get us more points.
Let's face it, there's a lot of people out there that really don't want to believe that Fireball extracts the kind of potential out of the players that it actually does. Because the ideal created throughout history is that you need to be some kind of Hercules to perform at that professional level. That's all going to change now.
This sport changes all that. It proves to me that it doesn't matter how big you are or small you are. And we've seen pieces of that in other sports. But FXC really does it. And it lets people shine.
Williams is on Connie, to Martinez in second line, short pass to Cassandra, back to Martinez, the ball is deflected by Tomatsi.
Oscar Leon in the captain's lane. Opens up the team. And find Morales in a free position. Passes to Dirceu, auto pass, jump, and a pass to Martinez. To Oregi, who gets rid of the markings and pass to Dirceu. Irregularly stopped by Williams.
Sylvia, did you see what Oregi and Dirceu did? They find spaces where there is none. What an incredible movement by these players.
Mexico, they crunched us. I mean, are they 6'4"? No. Are they lifting 220 pounds? Not that I saw. Do they run a 40-yard dash in under 4.5 seconds? But they're quick and they're nimble. They have strategy and they understand where their teammates are all the time on the court. I mean, sports is pretty simple. At the end of the day, you look at the scoreboard, they were the better team than us that day under those conditions.
Para entrenar Fireball, obviamente nos enfocamos en el desarrollo de las capacidades físicas, ¿no? Mejoramos la resistencia, la rapidez, la explosión, la fuerza. No nos enfocamos en buscar jugadores muy altos, ni muy fuertes, ni un jugador que sea sobresaliente como tal. ¿Por qué? Como sabemos, el deporte, el fireball, es un trabajo en equipo, un trabajo colectivo. Entonces, conlleva a que si uno de tus jugadores no está bien integrado con el resto del equipo, no se va a poder hacer nada, porque la clave en este deporte es el trabajo en conjunto, el trabajo en equipo. Eso es la clave como tal. El Fireball Extreme Challenge es un deporte tan rápido que no te da tiempo de que juntes un equipo o metas un equipo defensivo u ofensivo como tal. Todos tienen que saber atacar y tienen que saber defender así, en un instante. ¿Por qué? Porque en un switcheo o en un robo de bola, el equipo que estaba atacando se convierte en defensivo. Entonces, tienes que tener la suficiente inteligencia, la suficiente visión para poder no perder tu marca. Eso es algo que al Fireball lo distingue demasiado.
Basketball was my first love. I mean, I played growing up. I'm originally from Chicago, so watching Michael Jordan and following his footsteps, that's every kid's dream who grew up in Chicago. And when I was introduced to FXC, I thought that my basketball skills would translate to that sport as well. And I quickly realized that I wasn't reaching my maximum potential and I wasn't pushing myself as hard as I could when I was playing a sport. FXC takes it to an entirely new level. When you're on that court, there are no breaks, right? And sometimes in basketball, you can have a break here or there, but there are no breaks in FXC, in Fireball, because you have to continue moving. And that's something that will make sure that it's pushing you to the max when you're on the court at all times.
Gilberto to Carlos, out of pass back to Gilberto. Again, Carlos, who leaves behind to Marquins to Huicho, who changes direction with a long pass to Carlos again, back and forth with Orija, out of pass and long pass, and Huicho misses it.
As the sport spreads, we have an increasing number of players coming from other mainstream disciplines like basketball, football, handball, volleyball, CrossFit, joining the FXC family. The result is simple. It's a constant enrichment process that boosts the evolution of our sport.
A year ago, I didn't know about Fireball. I had no idea it existed. Then a friend introduced me to Fireball when I was at the gym in Washington, D.C., and they're like, hey, would you like to try this new sport called Fireball? And they start talking about it and telling me that there were tryouts and there were going to be people in tournaments in Mexico and Italy and in different countries all over the world. And I'm like, wait, what? Then they also told me about it's a co-ed sport and you would play with women. So I'm thinking, this isn't something that's going to be a big deal for a guy like me because I've been playing my entire life basketball. I mean, I played in high school, prep school, collegiately, so I thought it'd be super easy for me. I wouldn't even break a sweat. Then I go to tryouts and I realize, oh my goodness, this is non-stop.
The Fireball Federation came to me because they saw a spotlight piece on me training on ESPN Run. And they said, hey, we think you're a powerful athlete and you'll have a ton of potential in this new sport called Fireball Extreme Challenge. And I thought, wait, what? What's Fireball? After they explained it to me, the first thing I thought was, kind of sounds like hot potato. And honestly, it's kind of embarrassing to think that it's like hot potato because it's really not. And I thought they were crazy. They basically spent 5 minutes telling me 4 rules and then threw me a ball and said, go. Yeah, the rules sounded simple, but reality was, it was really brutal. One of the rules is you can't stop. You can't even walk. So I'm like, okay, I think I got this. I run, I'm an athlete. But then what you don't realize is moving for 60 minutes straight. And then there's this whole component about passing the ball. And you can't hold the ball for more than 2 seconds or you lose possession. So imagine this, you're moving super fast, you can only hold on the ball for 2 seconds. 1 second you're tracking it, the next thing you know, you're completely lost. And it's all of a sudden behind me now.
I played basketball, I'm a guard, I do a lot of running during the game. Except during basketball, there's only 2 directions. You're going north or you're going south. With this, the ball moves around the entire court the whole time. So if you needed a break on offense after playing hard defense, you could camp out in the corner and get a couple extra breaths before maybe getting the ball or not. But in fireball, the ball's moving around the court the entire time. You don't know where it's gonna come from necessarily. Then you only got 2 seconds to hold on to it. In the basketball game, you're gonna pass a lot. Ball movement gets the defense to move. But quite frankly, passing in basketball is kind of like warming up for FXC. The ball moves faster and 10 times more often.
Penny, a new change of direction. Williams to Liz, who leaves his mark behind. To Jack, who long passes. Dixon misses it, but Evan Liz looks like he's everywhere. Great anticipation.
Realistically, you're not going to see the ball move that fast anywhere else.
Para el fútbol también es muy importante, principalmente aquí en México, el identificar esos futuros talentos. Es mucho mejor poder encontrarte un jovencito o un chavito que tenga aptitudes, ¿no? Coordinativas para poder desarrollarlo y trabajarlo y poder explotar todas sus capacidades en un futuro y hacer de él un muy buen futbolista. Es por eso que para el fútbol, ahorita que estamos entrando en las escuelas, aquí es donde vamos a tener y vamos a tratar de completar ese semillero, ¿no? Ese semillero de futuros deportistas que puedan llevar al fútbol a otro nivel como tal.
¿Cómo se llamó este juego? ¿Cómo hago puntos? ¿Con qué?
Hey, let's face it, relative to Mexico, fireball's new in the U.S. So Mexico's had a leg up on us in terms of recruiting and training. But we have a reputation here in the U.S. We may start in the back, but we're going to finish in the front.
Certain sports place limits based on things like height, body type, team dynamics. Like a lot of players who come from strong sports backgrounds get totally thrown off playing fireball. You know, for some, they think I'm so strong, I can compensate where I lack speed or endurance, or others who think they're a great defender, so when they have to rotate into the offensive position, they get really weak, and that's understandable. And you'll get wrecked if you think like that in a fireball. I've played sports my whole entire life. I've played soccer, softball, volleyball, I even ran marathons. Fireball is the only sport where I feel like I could really actually reach my full capacity as an athlete.
I played basketball and other sports as well, so I understand what it means to be aggressive when you're playing a sport. But fireball, that's a whole nother level. This sport kicks your butt. When you're a young kid and you're growing up in the inner city and, underprivileged situation, you feel that you need to protect your family. You need to protect the women in your family, your sisters, and your mother as well. At that age, you think if you're vulnerable, that makes you weaker, right? So when I'm playing sports, you carry that same mindset, same mentality. And, if you take that mindset, when you're playing fireball, it's really not the way to think, and it's not the way to work. Because in fireball, the women are just as good. I
mean, I get it. Men have been taught and have this misconception that women are weak. So if a female athlete plays as well as a man head-to-head, he's either really whack or the sport just isn't that hard. And that's just not true in Fireball. And that's the hardest thing for people to understand at first. That someone like me, who's 5'6", and Asian American women, can actually play at the same level as a guy like Solomon, who's 6'4".
There's more to Fireball than just being physically gifted. And you almost have to relearn different moves and different styles because, you spend so many years learning from traditional team sports like basketball, like maybe pushing off on someone or playing a certain position. But in Fireball, there's really no position. Everyone is doing everything.
The U.S. is a big country, so in the meantime, it's really essential that we consistently hold open trials in major cities like Los Angeles, D.C., New York, Chicago, and others. We've got to find the best athletes.
I mean, there's no promises. Whether you were on the team last year or a walk-on in today's trials, these spots are going to go to the best of the best. So if you think you got the goods, show us what you got. And Fireball is a very new sport. We're still evolving it, constantly elevating the gameplay. And the players that are really good are hungry for that level of competition.
Yeah, we trained hard, but Mexico had an advantage on us. We not only have to work harder, we have to think outside of the box.
Neuromovement is a fitness company that focuses on training all attributes of the nervous system. In other words, we focus on speeding up the communication between your mind and your body.
We've worked with the top athletes in the world, ranging from MLB, NBA, NFL, UFC fighters, world champion boxers such as Clarissa Shields, top 10 UFC contender Belal Muhammad.
We work on reaction training, cognitive processing, pattern recognition, and a lot of different attributes of the nervous system.
We'll get data-driven results on how fast athletes are reacting, making decisions. This is what separates the great athletes from the just regular okay athletes. In the training world, sometimes training isn't always equal. What we like about Fireball is that they treat the women and the men on equal playing ground, on equal footing on the field, and they're also looking to incorporate this into their training programs as well. Typically, men react faster than females. This is proven in research, but what we can do is come in and train the female athletes to make quicker decisions and have quicker processing speeds so that they can react just as fast as the men.
We are here to provide data to the organization that shows the improvements as a result of our training. The improvements are going to show better hand-eye coordination, faster reaction time, and this goes across all heights, age ranges, and regardless of gender. The data that we will provide the organization will allow them to determine any shortcomings as far as reaction times or other attributes of the nervous system.
Fireball was the perfect fit for us, being a fast-paced sport with 360 degrees of spatial awareness, as well as quick decision-making and constant motion. So it was the perfect fit for Neuromovement and Fireball to team up and try to get these results with their athletes.
Right now, I'm pinpointing nuances in my performance that honestly I wouldn't have been able to identify without Neuromovement. Sure. Let Mexico, let all the teams have access to Neuromovement. That's not really going to change anything. Our athletes were bigger, better, stronger, faster. Every category possible. On paper, we should have blown them out. This is where we messed up. We got to fix it. Let's close the gap on Mexico. Tell them I said that. Tell him I said that.
Pienso que tiene razón en todo lo que dice. Podrán ser chavos altos, porque es lo que tiene Estados Unidos, la altura. Físicamente muy habilidosos en correr, en frenar, en saltar. Musculosos, pero siguen sin saber lo que es en sí el fireball.
Every category possible. On paper, we should have blown them out. This is where we messed up. We gotta fix it. Let's close the gap on Mexico. Tell them I said that.
Diles que dije eso. Bueno, yo también les puedo decir algo. Está muy padre toda la tecnología con la que entrenan y eso, hasta cierto punto es envidiable, pero pues ni modos. Nosotros entrenamos con puro valor mexicano y a puro esfuerzo. Así es que la analogía aquí vendría siendo la de Rocky 4. Ya tú sabes cuál es. Ustedes son Iván Drago y nosotros somos Rocky Balboa. Así es que nos vemos en Italia. Fuerte, 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 todas juntas, órale. Todas juntas, Pues, vamos, más rápido. ¡Dos, tres! ¡Levanten los pies! Seguimos, órale.
Extreme temperatures threatens the 2020 Olympics.
This year Olympics are the hottest on record.
A week after the athletes arrived in Tokyo, so did the heat.
Tokyo heat could be the most formidable opponent for athletes at the Olympics.
In 2019, we were definitely a faster, more cohesive fireball team, both as a club and a national team. Because in 2019, we didn't have to deal with COVID, and we didn't have to replace anyone last minute. But really, the biggest thing was we didn't have to deal with the same extreme temperatures we had to deal with in 2021.
It's 103 degrees on the court, and the Americans are looking exhausted. This is not the nicely air-conditioned stadiums these athletes were expecting, and it's ball possession Mexico now.
We knew it was going to be hot. Anybody who's ever been to Cancun knows that Mexico is hot. Except the problem was we trained in air-conditioned facilities if we could get in one. And if not, max temperature in DC before May was about 70 degrees. Teams in Mexico were adept to that heat. And so middle of the game, was clocking 106. And I almost had heat stroke. Shoot, felt like I was playing fireball in one of my hot yoga classes.
Martinez to Austin with a curve pass. Long pass to Motzi, who misses it again. Can you believe this?
I don't think I've ever experienced that kind of exhaustion before. Playing in triple-digit heat, with 80% humidity, no AC, and wearing a mask the whole time. It was so unbearable. I remember when it came to my turn as captain at the end of the second game, and my legs began to feel like jello.
Sandy Wynn in the captain's lane, marked by Daniela Valero. Wynn opens up the team, then passes to Williams, who gets rid of Gamma's marking, and passes to List, who catches it in midair. To Austin, Okpe, back to Austin, who loses it.
And another ball possession cut short for the U.S. That's not how you beat Mexico.
Okpe is ready to serve next as the last U.S. captain. Coach List calls timeout. Sylvia, we've got a close one. Team USA currently leading 71-68.
They've got a small advantage here, but they have to make the most of it. In Fireball Extreme Challenge, it's possible to score up to 20 points during a single ball possession.
You're absolutely right, and despite a good start, the U.S. team has slowed down dramatically and experienced some major errors, including 6 neutral lane invasions that have cost them a total of 12 precious points. The U.S. scoring percentage went down a whopping 37% in the second game. I'd have to say, he had to play a huge factor in this one.
I agree, Jack. Team USA went from imposing their rhythm in the first game to suffering through Mexico's pace in the second. If the Americans don't bounce back pretty fast, it will be over.
Now, it looks like Coach List is trying to rally his troops, but they're just completely wiped. Let's take a listen in.
We have to have nothing but positive energy right now. If we don't have positive energy, I guarantee you we will negatively lose the game. We gotta be positive on the bench, on the floor, everywhere we go. We gotta shine like the people. Let's go!
And it was right then that things took a turn I never expected. It was like basically my nightmare came to life. The most crucial play of the game for me.
Last crucial ball possession of the game for the Americans. A high pass to Austin to Opke. Auto pass. Change of direction. Another long pass to Tamate. To List. What an incredible reaction from Team USA.
This is exactly what they've got to do to extend their advantage before Mexico gets control of the ball.
Tamate to Sani, who unfortunately keeps the ball longer than 2 seconds, killing a great US ball possession.
She's limping a bit.
Must be cramps again.
Those are probably our last decent ball possession. Temperature got to about 106, and after that, honestly, next thing I knew, I looked at the screen and we were down by like 20.
Mexico's players moved through us so fast, like we weren't even there.
This is exactly what we were afraid of. Mexico is capitalizing on the U.S. physical exhaustion, ramping up the rhythm of their ball possessions, and they're taking full advantage of it.
And there's nothing the Americans athletes seem to be able to do to stop them.
En el juego contra los Estados Unidos, un factor que fue determinante también para ellos y para nosotros fue el calor y la humedad. Estamos conscientes que en la actualidad el cambio climático va avanzando a pasos agigantados. Nosotros estamos un poco más acostumbrados a la humedad y al calor, ¿no? y a la intensidad del sol. Sin embargo, no te puedo asegurar cuánto tiempo más duraremos así o cuánto tiempo más lo podremos soportar, ya que si el cambio climático sigue avanzando como viene, va a llegar un punto en el que no vamos a poder ni siquiera hasta salir al sol porque va a ser extremadamente dañino para nosotros, ¿no? Eso es algo que estamos conscientes que puede llegar a pasar y pues está en nosotros en este momento el empezar a poder detener la crisis climática.
COVID pushed the environment out of the public psyche, but there we were, dealing with all of it and the pandemic all at the same time. Our athletes worked so hard, there was sweat coming out of their shoes. It was crazy.
In 2020, the world was understandably transfixed with COVID. But to me, honestly, COVID and global warming give us about the same result. Mass global devastation. The difference is that one tried to kill us rapidly over the course of a year, while the other one has been slowly killing us for decades and continues to get ignored.
Aquí nosotros los mexicanos entrenamos en la playa, entrenamos en las canchas, entrenamos en la montaña y entrenamos en la naturaleza. Estamos tratando de concientizar a todos de lo que es la utilización y el uso de los recursos naturales y obviamente cuidar al medio ambiente. El entrenar en este tipo de lugares nos trae conciencia de que este planeta es prestado y de que solamente estamos de paso, entonces tenemos que cuidarlo porque no solamente se trata de nosotros mismos, sino de los que vienen adelante de nosotros, de las demás generaciones.
I've never seen another sport like this, where as women, I can truly compete against men at this athletic level. And honestly, I know the men agree. The bar isn't being lowered for them, it's actually being raised.
mean, it's silly when I look back at myself and the way I used to think when I was younger, because women are the pillars, they're the strength in our communities and definitely in my household. And I think about the strong women in my family, like my mother, my sisters, my grandmother, and I almost laugh at how blind I was thinking about like me being the protector of all of them. But if you really think about it, they were the protectors of me and keeping the family set and strong and making sure that we had good morals and values. And I believe when I joined Fireball and the FXC team, it really highlighted and it taught me that the relationship that I have with the women in my life, my mom, my sisters, and other women as well, is that we really need to have each other's back. Strength is measured in more ways than one. And, playing with the women in Fireball just showed me even more that, hey, look, they can protect, they can dominate, and, they can also play these games just as good, if not better.
Well, there's precedence. I actually look to women's soccer in the United States as a model for success. In 1970, you had the first Women's World Cup in Italy, and then the following year it went to Mexico and filled a 100,000-seat stadium. Then Title IX got passed in the U.S., and girls soccer became a staple in school sports. I'd argue that today, U.S. women's soccer is a bigger success than men's soccer. And as a result, we have precedence.
When you have a sport as competitive as Fireball Extreme Challenge, where the players feel naturally compelled to constantly push their physical and mental limits, to fight against their exhaustions the way we saw today, when players have the willingness to keep playing, not to hurt their team, even when they feel they don't have any more energy to give. When you see all of this, then you know that you are doing the right thing. But what really makes us happier and prouder is the fact that we have never seen a sport uniting people like Fireball Extreme Challenge. And this is because of the pillars it's based on, gender equality, inclusion, total respect. As I always say,
we embrace diversity, and this is one of our key principles. We embrace diversity because while unity gives us strength, diversity gives us power.
Our next international tournament is this fall in Italy. It's serious. We're definitely up against the clock. We only got a few months.
Hey, Sandy.
Hey, Coach.
How you doing?
I'm doing well.
Listen, good. We just pulled in the stats from the trials, and I wanted to be the first one to let you know. You've been guaranteed a spot on the Team USA for the 2021-22 season. It's not a prank. And you'll be heading to the 2022 FXC Championships, all expenses paid.
Oh my God, this is awesome.
Just make sure that you're ready for training next week, okay? I mean, it's all sunshine and rainbows, but next week on Monday, the grind begins, so make sure you're ready. Talk to you later. Take care.
Well, I'm happy. I'm really happy and excited. Thank you so much.
No problem. You earned it.
Hey, Darren, come here for a second, please. So, how do you think you did on your reaction time and your hand-eye coordination?
Man, I felt really good today. I thought I did a pretty good job.
Yeah?
Good job.
Yeah, well, let's see what the results show.
Your reaction time was below average. Decision making is even worse than that. I mean, you're athletic, but yeah, we need to do some work.
That's crazy, man. I really thought I felt good today. Came prepared. Did everything y'all said.
This is a complete joke, man. Welcome to Team USA.
Stop playing. Stop playing, man. Stop playing. Let's go. Let's go. Let's do it. Come on. Come on. Yes, sir. Let's go. Yeah, come on, man. Come on. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
I challenge everybody who's out there right now thinking, I've got what it takes.
If you're 18 years of age at the time of an FXC regional qualifying round near you, we're taking applications right now.
We think that you might be able to help us succeed where we haven't.
If you think you've got what it takes to be on Fireball's Team USA, apply now using the QR code. All eligible athletes will have until the end of this year to put their hat in the ring and see if you have what it takes to make the cut.
We've lost twice now, so we're the underdog, which helps me because I get to be a little tougher as a coach. But if you're ready to rise to the occasion, represent the U.S. in a brand new sport, and do better than you ever thought you could do, give yourself a chance and come show me. Maybe we can do it together.
In 2022, the FXC International event faced an unfortunate setback, but fear not, because a grand spectacle is on the horizon. In autumn 2025, Europe will play host to the long-awaited Fireball International event. It's an opportunity for redemption for the U.S., aiming to dethrone the reigning Mexican champions, but the challenge doesn't end there. Spain, the only country to have ever bested Mexico since 2018, stands in their way. And who knows which other nations will rise to the occasion. Italy, Cyprus, Trinidad and Tobago, Ecuador, Uganda, India, Croatia. The stage is set for an epic showdown. The first Fireball World Cup is coming to Europe in 2025. Are you ready to join the fray?